Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just wanna fall on you. To show the devils you ain't nothing to play with. I raise material to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for kings. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Go ahead. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. Go ahead. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead. This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 V's. Leave them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna hit his ass with his virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas, we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all let's do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead. I keep it loyal to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my targets on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime, fuck peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
But I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
Outside, you in the crib with the boy outside. I get it on outside, from the dust to the dawn outside. So in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawing outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, you better be all outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib with the boy outside, I get it on outside. That's a definite, cannonball, wrecking shit, excellent. Rhyme for rocket bombing like the president. I remain strong, King Kong with the prevalence. I show you exactly what we do, that's how I represent. Hardcore, heaven sent, chain on, hella bent. Throwing all black when they spot me like the leopard print. Oh, I got the braids and shades on, made men. Cause we put in work to stop the earth until it changes. Walk strong, talk heavy, hold my own. You rock solid when we about to leave the sword, the stone. Nigga, we warriors, hardcore, tracking the pride to let the Hebrew speak.
Most High in Christ.
Testing.
Shalom.
Testing.
How about Shemi, how shop, I thought of the brothers, how Shamal, the thought about
Testing.
the sisters. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You understand? Out here in Durham, North Carolina. This is the Sabbath service. Preaching officer 500 One holding it down for my brother, officer 500 Mahayar. You know what I'm saying, who couldn't be here today, but no sweat. We're gonna rock it out. Shalakia. Bear with me just a second. So make sure this audio is too up. We good to go. All right. Most High in Christ. So hit that horn, Yanazor. We're going to go ahead and start the Sabbath service right now. Count on with that. You understand? The Sabbath service will commence. All right. So, Imayim, which means to stand. Wapan Yah Kwadum, which means rise and face the east. We're going to start out with these prayers. We're going to start out with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'aratazar, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawum, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawathi Nawa, Kazalak Nawa, Kabawathi Nawa, Wala'ah, Tabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abol, Hawashayanawa, Rai, Asalakia, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wahathaparith, La'Iwalumium, Aman.
In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Prayer for the power of the Hakak in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Bashimi Hawashai, Baba Kashah, Nathan Nawa, Hakak, La Para'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, La Hakwim, Hamathium, Hakak, Al Rakawath, Hatama'ala, Lagarashun, Bashimi Hawashai, Dwada Aman.
English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
The prayers for the blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shai, wa ma Yaka'ala, wa Alahayim, Matazabaya, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapium, Ha Saranyam, Ha Katazayanyam, Ha Koyayoyam, wa Ha Aquatium, Yahweh, Bashim Hawashai, Dwada Aman. Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Haharium. Mahayun, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'im, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayim, Wa'aratazah, Al Yathun, Lamawat, Regolka, Al Yanawum, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawum, Wala'ah, Yayashun, Shawamor, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazolka, Al Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayallah, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamor, Tazaatka, Waba Wa'atka, Mayatha, Wa'aid Iwalam.
I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills.
From
whence cometh my help.
From which cometh my help.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot.
He will not suffer thy foot
to be moved.
He
that keepeth thee. Will not slumber. Behold. He that keepeth Israel. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee. From all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore.
The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Damayalaka. Al-Fakarash. Al-Fashakwat. Al-Kayahana. Awabiaka. Yahama. Yawan. Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Ya'ira Yamwa. Sawada. Wayatha. Ya'iza Tazawa. Al-Tazapawanyaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wanakakidam. Magoya. Wala'ah. Yazakar. Sham Yasha'ala. Iwada. Kaya. Nawa Tazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Alyaka. Bariath. Yakarathwa. Aholya. Alawam. Wa Yashamai. Alayam. Mawa'aba. Wa Hagarium. Gabal. Wa Imawan. Wa Imalak. Palashath. I'm Yashabia. Tazawar. Gam Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Labanya Lawat. Salah. Aishalaham. Kamajin. Kasaya. Sara'ah. Kayabian. Banakol. Kayashwan. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan. Da'ara. Hayawa. Daman. La'adama. Shayatamwa. Nada Yabmawa. Ka'irab. Wakazaba. Wakazabak. Wakatazol. Mana'ai. Kalnasaya Kamwa. Ashar. Amarwa. Nayarasha. Lanawa. Ath. Na'awath. Alahayim. Alahaya. Shayatamwa. Kagogala. Kakwash. Lapanyararaka. Ka'ash. Tabi'ira Ya'ira. Wakalahaba. Talahat. Harayam. Khan. Tharadatma. Basa'iraka. Wabasa. Wapathka. Tabahalam. Mala'ah. Panyahum. Kwalawan. Wayabakwashwa. Shamka. Yahweh. Yabashwa. Wayabaholwa. Aida Aid. Wayakaparwa. Waya Abadwa. Waya Da'aiwa. Kaya Atha. Shamka. Yahweh. Labadka. Al Yawan. Al Kal Ha'aratazar.
In the English. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
Still, O Yahweh.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come. And let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel. May be no more in remembrance. But they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur. Also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles. Like Oreb. And like Zeeb. Yea. All their princes. As Zabah. And as Zalmunna. Who said, let us take to ourselves. The houses of Yahweh. In possession. Oh my power. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame. Setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the most high. Over all the earth. All right, so we're going to pick it up where we left off last week. You understand? We're in the book of Numbers. The book of Numbers, chapter 29 and verse 23 is where we're going to begin for today. All right? Numbers chapter 29, verse 23. Giannis, when you get a chance, you can go ahead and get that in the Hebrew.
Okay, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 23 in Hebrew. Wabaya wum, harabaya aya, parayum, aishara, ayalum, shanyum, kabashium, banya shana. Arabai, Ishar, Thamayumim. Verse 24. Manakathum, Wana Sakayahum, La Parayum. La ayalum, wala kabashium, bamasaparum, kamashapat. Verse 25. Waisha ayar, Isayum, Akkad. Kata'ath, Malabad, Ilath, Hatham Mayad, Hatham Mayad, Manakatha, Wanasaka. Verse 26. Wabayawum, Hakamaya. Hakamayashia, Parium, Vashai, Ayalum, Shanyum, Kabashium, Banyashana, Arabai, Aishar, Vamayumyum. Verse 27, Wamanakatham, Wanasakayahum, La Parayum, La Ayalum, Wala Kabashium, Vamasaparum, Kamashapat. Verse 28, Waisha Ayar, Kata'ath, Akkad, Alabad, Atlakia, Malabad, Ilath, Hathamayad, Wama Nakatha, Wana Saka. Verse 29, Wabiyawum, Hashashaya, Hashashaya, Parayum, Shamana, Ayalum, Shanyum, Kabashium, Banyashana, Arabai, Aishar, Famayumyum. Verse 30, Wamana Katham, Wanasa Kayahum, Kayahum, Laparium, La Ayalum, Wala Kabashium, Bama Saparum, Kama Shapat. 31 should be the last one. Verse 31, Washa Ayar, Kata'ath, Akkad, Malabad, Ilath, Hathamayad, Manakatha, Wana Sakiyath, Wana Sakaya. Yeah, 20. Oh, Salakia, sir. Okay, started 20. This is the book of Numbers. Okay, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 23 in English. And on the fourth day, 10 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. Verse 24, their meat offering and their drink offerings for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. Verse 25, and 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. Verse 26, and on the 5th day, 9 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without spot. Verse 27, and their meat offering and their drink offering for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. Verse 28, and 1 goat for a sin offering besides the continual burnt offering and his meat offering and his drink offering. Verse 29, and on the 6th day, 8 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. Verse 30. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 30 in Hebrew. Womanakatham. Womanaktham. Womanaktham. Wana sakayatham. Oh, Wanasakium. Okay. Wanasaki Sakiahum. Wanasakiahum. Okay. La parium. La ayalum. Wala kabashium. Bama saparum. Ka'a shapat. Kamashapat. Washa ayar. Hata'ath. Akkad. Malabad. Ilath. Hakamayad. Oh, Salaki. Hathamayad. Salaki, sir. Hathamayad. Manakatha. Wanasakaya. Wanasakia. Wanasakia concept. Verse 32. So we're going to what, 35? 36. 36? Okay. Concert. Wabia wum. Hashabaya aya. Parium. Shabai. Ayalum. Shanya. Kabashium. Banya Shana. Arabai. Aishar. Thamayumyum. Verse 33. Wama nakatham. Wana sakahum. Wana sakahum. Okay, wana sakahum. La parium. La ayalum. Wala kabashium. Wama saparum. Kamashapatum. Kamashapatum. Verse 34. Washa ayar. Kata'ath. Akkad. Malabad. Ilath. Hathamayad. Hathamyad. Manakatha. Wanasaka. Verse 35. By a womb. Hashemayanaya. Itazarath. Thahaya. Lakam cow. Mala'akath. Ibadah. Tha'aishawa. Verse 36. Wahakara Batham. Ilah. Aisha. Usha. Rayak. Nayakak. La Yahweh. Par Akkad. Ayol. Akkad. 36, sir. Kabashium. Banyashana. Shabai. Thamayumyum. That's the end of verse 36. Go back to 29. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 29 in English. Salakia, sir. Verse 30 in the English. And their meat offering and their drink offering for the bullock, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. Verse 31. And one goat for a sin offering besides the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. Verse 32. And on the seventh day, 7 bullocks, 2 rams, and 14 lambs of the first year without blemish. Verse 33, and their meat offering and their drink offering for the bullocks, for the rams, and for the lambs shall be according to their number after the manner. Verse 34, and one goat for a sin offering, besides the continual burnt offering, his meat offering, and his drink offering. Verse 35, and on the 8th day ye shall have a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. Verse 36, but ye shall offer a burnt offering, a sacrifice made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. 1 bullock, 1 ram, 7 lambs of the first year without blemish.
If I'm not mistaken, this is talking about the memorial blowing of the trumpets. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's what it started with. Okay, but nonetheless, it's all these different sacrifices that have to do with these feast days. You understand? For different reasons, right? You know what I'm saying, to make amends with the Lord, or to demonstrate to the Lord that we recognize the sins that we've committed. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it may be, or for a sweet savor, to have a holy convocation. You understand? And that's what we do in the Isupk County Command and General Honor. We keep these traditions. You understand? Everything that you're reading about in this Bible, we keep. But now you might be asking yourself, well, why don't we have exactly 8 lambs of the first year without blemish and exactly this much of this? Why don't we have that? Why is it that we can say in the ISUPK, we keep all of these traditions, but yet you don't see us saying, okay, make sure y'all got a she-goat, you know what I'm saying, of the first year. Why are we still keeping it without doing that part?
If I may, sir. Because the law of sacrifice of the animals is done away with. We no longer have to follow that particular part of the priesthood.
You don't have to worry about she-goats and kids and, you know what I'm saying, sheep and lambs of the whatever. We don't have to worry about that. Why? Because Christ was the ultimate sacrifice. You understand? There's no goat or sheep that you can kill that can make up for the fact that you was a filthy drug dealer for 10 years. There's no animal, there's no dove that you can kill to make up for the fact that you was a nasty homosexual or some kind of sexual deviant, or that you were a whore. You can't make up for that. And Christ already, you know what I'm saying, he already died. He already died to be the mediator between us and the Father, to bring us back to the Most High. So all of those things are, we don't worry about that now, but we still have to keep these traditions in the spirit of Christ because he kept them. You understand? Any more on that? You understand?
Sir.
Most High in Christ. All right. So we have verse what now? We have verse 37. So I'm gonna pick it up at the book of Numbers, chapter 29 and verse 37 in the Hebrew, and I have you read the English. The book of Numbers, chapter 29 and verse 37. Manakthum, it's like Manakathum, Wanasakyahum, Lapar, La Ayol, Wala Kabashim, Bama Saparum, Kamashapat. Verse 38. Washa Ayar, Kata'ath, Akkad, Malabad, Ailath, Hathamayad, Wamana Katha, Wanasaka. Verse 39. Allah, Ta'aishwa, La Yahweh, Bama wa Aidyakum, Labad, Mana Sakya, Manadaryakum, Wanadath Sakya, Wama Sakya, Wa Nabad Na Slakya, Wana Badathiakum, there we go. Wana Dabathiakum, La Ilathiakum, Wala Manakathiakum, Wala Nasakyakum, Wala Shalomyakum. Ooh-wee. Most High in Christ. Right. Verse 40. Waya Amar, Masha, Al Banya Yasha Allah, Kakal, Ashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ath Masha. That's the end of verse 40. And we're going to take it to the next chapter. So we started at 37, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 3 more. Come on. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 30 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Waya debar masha al ra'ashia hamatawath labunya yasha Allah la amar zam hadabar ashar tazawa yahawah. Verse 2. Ayash kaya yadar nadar la Yahweh awa hashabai shabai la asar al napashwa la yakol debarwa kakol hayataza mapyawa ya Aisha. Verse 3. Wa asha kaya thadar nadar la Yahweh wa asar wabayath abayah. It's like it. Abayah bana iraya. That's the end of verse 3. Pick it back up in verse 29.
37.
It's like it. Chapter 29, verse 37.
The book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 37 in English. Their meat offering and their drink offering for the bullock, for the ram, and for the lamb shall be according to their number after the manner. Verse 38. And one goat for a sin offering besides the continual burnt offering and his meat offering and his drink offering. Verse 39. These things ye shall do unto the Lord in your set feast, besides your vows, and your freewill offerings, for your burnt offerings, and for your meat offerings, and for your drink offerings, and for your peace offering. Verse 40. And Moses told the children of Israel according to all that the Lord commanded. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 30, verse 1. And Moses spake unto the head of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. Verse 2. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word, and he shall do according to all that proceeded out of his mouth. Verse 3. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in her youth.
Now, what does it mean to bind yourself with a bond unto the Lord? How would you go about that? Do you just say it out loud? Okay, Sadat. That's exactly what it is. How would you take that oath? Well, you don't pour oil in your own head. You don't do that, but I know what you mean. You got to go to the priest. The priest will you say, I want to take this oath to do this, such and such. The priest pours oil on your head, like you said, and that's how you know what I'm saying, go before the Lord with an oath. You don't do it by yourself because you can't talk to the Lord by yourself. Salakia, I hate to break your heart. The Lord does not talk to you. He doesn't give a F about what you think about anything or what you're doing. He does not talk to you. How does the Lord talk to you? If he needs to get something to you, how does he get it to you? Guess it, Doc. You right, but give it to me, pause. Like tell me, okay, it's in the book, right? But the book also tells us that he has ways to speak to people. There's times in the Bible where somebody said, where a sister said, the Lord spoke to me, or this, you know what I'm saying? The Lord said for me to do this. How did he do it? Guess it, Doc. It can be through a dream, but even with that, how do you, if you have a dream, Sadak, and you think that dream is about how you should go and start a farm in Kentucky, how do you know that that's the Lord telling you to start a farm in Kentucky? Do you just say to yourself, well, it felt like, the Lord's telling me to start a farm in Kentucky, so let me go book my flight, get there and get it done. What you got, Yonazar?
The Most High always spoke through the priests and prophets of the Lord.
There you go. The Most High always spoke through the priests and prophets of the Lord. So if a sister had a dream and she felt that this might have been the message from the Lord, she couldn't know unless she did what? Unless she went to the priest, unless she went to the prophets and found out whether or not this dream meant that, whether it had to be interpreted. And the same thing if you take a vow, right? The Lord don't speak to you. He speaks to you through who? Through the priests and prophets of God, right? In other words, when that man above you says, get such and such done, who told you to get it done? The Most High told you to get it done. You understand? Just like when we have a food drive and we say Commander Junior Hanna did it again, he wasn't even there. He may not even have known it happened, but it don't matter because we did it under what? His authority, his tutelage, his teachings. You understand? And that's how the Most High works. It's the same thing. Most High sent out his messengers, his prophets. He called the messengers, the prophets, what? His mouthpiece. That's right. You understand? The same thing he said Aaron. He said, and he told Aaron that he told Moses that Aaron's going to be unto you as a mouthpiece. And he told Aaron that Moses will be unto you instead of a God. Meaning to Aaron, you're not going to speak to me. You're going to get it from who? From Moses. You understand? And that's how that's always worked. So when the same thing with this, if you want to take a vow, you got to go to the priests and prophets, and they'll decide, okay, no sweat, and pour the oil. You can do this, Doc. All right, and they'll make sure whether or not you're keeping that. Go ahead, Doc.
If I may, sir. And also keep in mind, this cuts down on confusion. You understand? Because if you tell multiple people the same thing, they might say, each one of them might say something different. So, and it also, we denote that the Most High always dealt with one person at a time to keep down confusion, man. There was no confusion involved with the Most High.
The water for that, right? Because, like you said, it keeps down confusion. Why? Because we don't got to worry about who he say, she say. All we know is we got one order from one brother. That one brother is going to tell you that order, and you're going to make sure that it goes down. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that it's carried out. Right? But imagine you got a bunch of brothers trying to be in charge. Well, who do we follow, this brother or this brother? But I'm over this. Nah. The Lord always dealt with one man to eliminate confusion. All right. That was in the verse 3. So let's in the Hebrew. Let's read verse 4 in the Hebrew. I'll go ahead with this one and then you do the next one. Con. This is the book of Numbers, chapter. It's like, read verse. Yeah, you read it. My bad. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 30 and verse 4 in the Hebrew. Wa Shemai, Abaya, Ath, Nadara, Wa Asara, Ashar, Asara, Al, Na Pasha, Nakaryash, La, Abaya, Wa Kwamwa, Kal, Na Debaria, Wa Kal, Asar, Ashar, Asara, Al, Na Pasha, Yakwam. Verse 5. Wa Hanaya'a Abaya Atha Bayawam Shamaiwa Kal Nadabaria Wa Asaria Ashar Asara Al Napasha La Yakwam Wa Yahawa Yasalak La Kaya Anayash Abaya Atha. Verse 6. Wa Hayawa Thahaya La Ayash Wana Debaria Ailaya Awa Mabata'a Shapathia Shapathaya Ashar Asara Al Napasha. Verse 7. Wa Shemai Ayasha Bayawam Shemaiwa Wa Hakaryash La Wakwamwa Na Debaria Na Debaraya Wa Asara Ashar Asara Al Napasha Wakwamwa. Verse 8. Wa Bayawam Shemai Ayasha Yanaya'a Awatha Wahapar Ath Nadabara Ashar Ilaya Wa'ath Ma Bata'a Shapathaya Ashar Asara Al Napasha Wa Yahawa Yasalak La. verse 9. Khan, the book of Numbers, chapter 30 and verse 9. Wa nadar, Allah manah, wagar garwasha, kal ashar, asara, al napasha, yakawam, ilayah. Verse 10. Wa bayath, ayasha, nadabara, awa, asara, asar, al napasha, ba shabaya, it's like ba shabai. That's the end of verse 10 in the Hebrew. And so pick it back up in verse 4 in the English Bible shop.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 30, verse 4 in English. And her father hear her vow and her bond wherewith she shall bound her soul, her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her. Then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she hath bound her soul shall stand. Verse 5. Verse 5. But if her father disallow her in the day that he heareth not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she hath bound her soul, shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed her.
What does it mean to disallow?
To forbid.
Basically, right? So she tried to come to her father with a vow, and he said what? Nah, you're not doing that. Right? So that proves it doesn't matter what she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? The person above her, you know what I'm saying, the person over who has the charge over her has to approve it. And it goes with a brother as well. The men above you have to, you know what I'm saying, approve that. Go ahead.
And, I just want to say, like, as we read these scriptures, we see the order being established here, and this is the righteous order. You understand, that was supposed to maintain our community, and we're never going to be successful unless we reinstill, what's the word I'm looking for? Reinstitute this order, man. We have to have this order in order for us to be successful. That's why the Most High gave it to us. No other reason, other than us being successful.
That's right. Simple and plain. The water, brother. It's straight like that. You know what I'm saying? Our order. Now tell me who needs order more than blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians? I know you must be joking. You know what I'm saying? Who needs their daughters to follow their rules more than blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? You know what I'm saying? How many black men and women, you know what I'm saying, have had to deal with their daughters doing what they want to do? And then calling you and trying to, you know what I'm saying, fix Salakia. Bear with me just a second. Yeah, Sabbath. Yeah, text me, bro. Sure. Salakia. Yeah, man. Our daughters are out of control in this place. I mean, am I telling something they don't know, Yanazar?
That's one of our biggest detriments.
Right.
Our daughters.
Our daughters are out of control. Ooh-wee. You understand? And don't think it's something new. That ain't nothing new. That's a generational curse. You think our daughters weren't out of control, 50 years ago? Yeah, they were. It might have looked a little bit different, but they were out of control. My grandmother, who raised me, you know what I'm saying, love that woman to death. Like, that woman raised me. That she ran away from home when she was a teenager. She ran away from home. Now, she didn't, she may not have gone and turned into Cardi B, but at that time, in the 50s, in the late 40s, early 50s, somebody running away from, it's scandalous. Like, oh my God, I can't give her what she did. You know what I mean? Our daughters not following the order and the structure has been one of the biggest detriments to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? And we read in the scriptures that show you that this Bible is for us. Okay, what you got, Sadat? Absolutely. Damn right. It's more than normal to be, you right out, but it's more than normal to be a whore. You like supposed to be one. Like if you're not a whore, they looking at you like, well, what's wrong with you? Like you not, yeah, you ain't sleeping with brothers, the random dudes. You not, you know what I'm saying? What Cardi B in the same? First I F them, then I get some money. You not doing that. You not running scams. You not doing that. And then what's the other one they do now that's so disgusting? Now, and it's like I've been seeing this for years, but it's so crazy. Now every single one of them is what? Bisexual. You see that spirit now? I'm telling you, it's amazing. I remember, so like, I'm gonna let you speak in a second, so like if I may, bro, real quick. And I talk about this all the time, but it's so funny. Because I remember I was young, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I damn near a baby in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? And I remember when I would hear certain songs and brothers talk, there was certain things that was taboo amongst black people. Even if you did it, you didn't say it, right? Like when sisters wouldn't say that they gave fellatio. I always say that, but that's a fact. You can go look it up. There was a time when black women would be like, I don't do that. They were lying. They did do it, but they would never say it out loud. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't do certain sexual acts. That was white people stuff. You understand? That's how we treated it. You know what I'm saying? But then over time, with the music and with the culture, next thing you know, you got full-blown women saying that they giving other women fellatio. Good.
If I may, sir. And the program has worked so well, because it is a program that even the older women, you understand? I mean, you see the old, I hate to say it like this, but you see the old broads, man, you know, doing sexual acts and talking about what they do with their mouth. You know what I'm saying? It was just shameful, man. Shameful. Because we're under this devil.
That's right.
And he's programming our women to do this, and they're falling for it. Because you know why they're falling for it? Because they're not listening to the priests and prophets, man.
Damn right.
They're not listening to the Isupk at all.
That's right.
They're doing what the hell they want to do, and they're destroying our nation, man, with this. Man.
Right. You understand? We're reading about our history, and our history, guess what? Your daughter couldn't do what the F she wanted to do. I'm 12 right now. Yeah, so you want some of that?
After I eat.
Come most of the water. Your daughter could not do what she wanted to do. She was subject to something. Read on in English, Yanazar.
Okay, verse 6. And if she had at all an husband when she vowed or uttered aught out of her lips wherewith she bound her soul, verse 7, and her husband heard it and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vows shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. Once again, the man is in the position of authority, because, you know, you might hate to hear this, women of Israel, but the men are here to keep order, man. That is one of our main, functions as men, is to keep order in our nation. And once we get back to that, we'll start doing better. Like, our people are destroyed, man. I see the whoredom is so crazy, man. Like, Commander General Yohana said that our women, if you give them any kind of power or position, they're so corrupted by this society that they're going to abuse that position. You understand? And I've seen it. And I know that that's true. That's it, sir. Verse 7. No, we did 7. Verse 8. But if her husband disallowed her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and the Lord shall forgive her.
Brother said, such a heavy point, man. To see this is such an amazing thing. In other words, who decided whether or not her vow sticks? So can she talk to the Lord herself directly and say, Lord, I'm going to do this? No. The husband can either be like, all right, no sweat, hold his peace, and now she's bound to it. Or he can be like, nah, Salakia. He can say the husband can do what? The husband can say, Salaki, Lord. She ain't doing that. You understand? This is what we got to do, black man. We got to take control of our houses again. And the only way we can do that, man, is to get back into these scriptures, get back into these records in our history and our culture. And the only place we can do that is in the ISUPK and the Command and General Yohana. Go ahead and read on, brother.
Verse 9. But every vow of a widow and her that is divorced, wherewith they have bound their soul, shall stand against her.
No, don't get it twisted. She might be a widow, but this still does not mean that she can say it by herself. She still would have to go to the priest. She still would have to go to the men above her. The reason why this one is different is because of what? Somebody tell me why this one is different.
Because she don't have a husband.
She doesn't have a husband, and what else? She doesn't have a father.
Oh, kind of.
You know what I'm saying? She doesn't have a father. So basically, she had a husband. He died. So the authority over her was her husband. He's gone. But remember, the father is no longer the authority over her because that became the husband. You know what I'm saying? That's why we had a dowry. When the dowry is paid, the father is no longer having the charge over this woman. So now technically she's alone, so to speak, quote unquote. But she cannot make because there's no one to bound her to the vow. She still has to go to the priest. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And if she vowed in her husband's house or bound her soul by an bond with an oath.
11 should be the last. Yeah, no, 10 is the last one in the English. So now you go jump to 11 in the Hebrew. You did 2, right?
This is my third one.
Right, as I said, but you did 2, and then I did 2.
Yeah.
And this is your third, but the fifth one counts. We got this one and 2.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 30, verse 11 in Hebrew. Washamai, Ayasha, Wahakarath, La'ah, Hanaya, Hanaya'ah, Atha, Wakwamwa, Cow, Nadaria, Wakal, Asar, Ashar, Asara, Al, Napasha, Yakwawum. Verse 12. Wa'am, Hapar, Yapar, Atham, Ayasha, Salakia. Bayawum, Washamaiwa, Washamwa, Shamaiwa, Salakia. Cal, Mawat Taza'a, Shapathia, Lanadaria, Wala Asar, Napasha, La'a, Yakwawum, Ayasha, Haparum, Wayahawa, Yasalak, La. Verse 13. Cal, Nadar, Wakal, Shaba'ith, Asar, La'inath, Napash, Ayasha, Yakwara, Manwa, Wa Ayasha, Yaparanawa. Verse 14. Wa'am, Hakarash, Yakarash, no, Salakia, Yakarayash, La, Ayasha, Mayawum, Al, Yawum, Wahaquarium, Ath, Cal, Nadaria, Awa, Ath, Cal, Asaria, Ashar, Aliyah, Aquarium, Athum, Kaya, Hakarash, La, Bayawum, Shema Iwa, or Shem Iwa, right? Is that Shem Iwa?
Verse one?
Verse 14, the last word. Shemaiwa.
Yeah, Shemaiwa.
Salaki, the water, sir.
Heard them. That's so. Remember, how do we say here in Hebrew? What's a listen? Shemai. So Shemaiwa is saying heard them.
Okay, we'll try and cry. Verse 15. Wa Hapar, Yapar, Athum, Akaria, Shemaiwa, Wanash, Wana Sha'a, Ath, Iwana. Verse 16. Allah, Hakakorium, Ashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ath, Masha, Bayan, Ayash, La'ashathwa, Bayan, Abba, Labathwa, Bana Iria, Bayath, Abaya. How many was that? Yeah, that was 5. We got 2 more. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 1 in Hebrew. Wayadabar, Yahweh al-Mashah la Amar. Verse 2.
Wait. What'd you read up to in English? Because you started at verse 11, right?
Hold on, let me go back.
Yeah, so Numbers 30 and 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Numbers 30 and 31 and verse 1 should have been the last one in Hebrew and English.
Okay. So that's what I read 1.
In English?
No, I didn't read it in English.
Read it in English. Yes, read Numbers 31 and 1 in English real quick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, you do so.
Okay, Numbers 31, verse 1, right? Okay. In English?
Yeah, because you read it in Hebrew, right?
No.
Read it. Okay, it's no sweat.
Did we go up to first? No.
Remember, you started at verse 11, if I'm not mistaken, in verse 30, right? In chapter 30.
Right.
You started at 11, right?
So
it should be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then the first verse of the next one.
So don't we go back and read from 11 in English?
Just read verse 1 in Hebrew and read it in English.
Okay. And the Lord spake.
Read it in Hebrew first, since you didn't read it in Hebrew already. But that was supposed to be the last one.
Okay.
In both Hebrew and you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So just read the English?
No, read it in Hebrew and English since you didn't do either one.
Okay.
So read in Hebrew first.
Wayadabar, Yahweh al-Mashah la Amar. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying.
There we go. So now we good, right? Because I'm just making sure we did start in verse 11, right? Right. So that's 7 verses. And now we can go on to verse 2 in the Hebrew. And that's going to be the first one of the next set of 7. You follow me?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, brother. You good?
Naquam. Naquamath.
Numbers chapter 31 and verse 2.
Banya Yasha Allah. Ma'ath. Hamadium. Hamadia Nayam. Hamadia Nayam. Hamadia Nayam. I don't know any other way to say it. Hamadium Nayam. Hamadium.
Still in verse 2?
Yeah, the middle word on the second verse.
Ha.
Madia Nayam.
Madayan. It's like ha. Madayanyam.
Okay. Hamad Yan. Say it again.
Ha. Madayunyum.
Madayunyum.
Count Midianites.
Oh. Madayunyum, a car, the Asap al Amayak. The Midianites. The Midianites. Verse 3. Waya Debar Masha al Ha'im La Amar Hakalatazawa Ma'a Thakam Anashiam Latazaba'a Wayahayawa al Madayan. So one is Midian and one is Midianite.
So hold on. What verse you in now?
I'm in verse 3.
Right. So Midian is actually let me turn this mic. Midian is Madian. Right? So that's why we say in the prayer we say Kamadian. The ka is a prefix that means as or similar to, right? So Kamadian means similar to Midian, right? So now we in Numbers chapter 31 and verse 2 where it says Midianites. The actual way you want to say it is Kamadianyum. Right. Ha Madyanyum. Now what's the next word you talking about in verse 3? It says Midian again, right?
It says Madian.
Where we at?
The third line, fourth word.
Al Madian.
Madian, yeah.
There we go. That's what it is. It's Madian.
Okay.
Al Madian. Go ahead.
La Tath, La Quamath, Yahweh, Bamadian in Midian, right? That's Bamadian.
Yeah, Bamadian means in Midian.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or of Midian in this particular case.
Okay. Most sign correct. Verse 4. Alap, Lamata, Alap, Lamata, Lakau, Matawath, Yasha'ala, Thashalathwa, Thashalakwa, Latazaba'a. Verse 5. Waya Masarwa, Ma'alapia, Yashra'ala Alap, Lamata, Shanyum, Aishar Alap, Hala Watazaya, Tazaba'a. In verse 6, Waya Shalak, Athum, Masha Alap, Lamata, Latazaba'a, Athum, Wa'ath, Payanakas Khan, Ban, Alia Izar, Hakahan, La Tazaba'a, Wakalia, Hakadash, Wakatazat, Tazariya Wath.
What verse?
Verse 6, last line, second word. Wakataza, Tazarwa, Tazarawa.
No, I see.
Kataza Tazarwa. Wa Kaza Tazarwath. Wakaza Tazarwath. Hatha wife. Hatharai. Bayadawa. Layadwa.
In his hand.
Verse 7. Waya tazaba'awa al Madian ka'ashor tazawa Yahweh af Masha waya haragwa waya haragwa kal zakar. Verse 8. Wa'ath Malakia Madian, the king of Midian, right? Haragwa al Kalaya.
Verse 8, right?
Yeah. What's that? Kalayahum af Kaloyahum af our ya wa af raquam wa af tazawar wa af kazor kawar wa af rabbi. That's 4. Hamashath Malakia Madian wa af Balaim Ban Ba'aiwar Haragwa Haragwa Bakarab. One more, right?
No, verse 8 is the last one that we read it in English.
Okay. Everything 12? All right. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 2 in English. Avenge the children. Could we put on the AC? Is on?
You might just turn that temp down a little bit.
Okay. The book of Numbers, Slakia, chapter 31, verse 2. Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. Verse 3. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites and avenge the Lord of Midian. Verse 4. Of every tribe 1,000, throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to war. So, verse 5, so there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. Verse 6, and Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, to the war, with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. If I may, sir, what are the holy instruments? Is that like the Ark of the Covenant and other things that we used to carry?
I think it's just weapons.
Just
weapons.
Let me
just see. Let me see 1 second. Hold on. Utensil or the full object. Probably whatever is made, complete or prepared. Yeah, I think it's weapons because it says in Genesis 27:3. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons. Okay. This means like the, you know what I'm saying, is the holy instruments. You know what I'm saying, all the weaponry that we will use. But of course, we're Israel, so everything we use is what is holy. Okay. You know what I'm saying, go ahead.
Most are incorrect. Verse 7. And they warred against the Midianites as the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all the males. Verse 8. And they slew the king of Midian, besides the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi, Rekem, and Zur, and Hor, and Rebah, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also the son of Beor they slew, with the sword.
Yeah, man. Killed them niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't them sound like some damn, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, Midianites is Africans, right?
No.
Who's Midianites?
Midianites are the seed of Abraham.
But from what? But what tribe? Not tribe, but you know what I'm saying? Like what people? Who they come out of? Come out of Ishmael? No. Who they come out of?
I know one of Abraham's sons, one of the other sons, was Midian, and that's who the people.
What do you mean? What ain't? Oh, I see what you're saying. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He comes from Abraham's line, and when Moses left Egypt,
he had a Midianite woman.
He had a Midianite woman.
Mm-hmm.
So they were our allies, and Moses told them to come with us.
Mm-hmm.
They turned on us.
Right, but I'm trying to figure out. They obviously not Israelites. I'm trying to figure out.
They're not Israelites, and they're not Africans.
So they're like some kind of like Semite, some kind of Asian, something like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
A
what we would call Asian now.
Yeah, a lot of the Asiatic was dark people as well. You know, they got.
We
lighter.
see that now.
Yeah,
you can see that now. You can go look at them Khoisan people. They're Hamites, but you know what I'm saying. They look like Asians, but they dark skinned. You know what I'm saying, you got dark skinned Chinese people. Go to the ghettos of China. Go to the ghettos of Japan. You're gonna see the blackest, you know what I'm saying, chinky eyed people you ever seen in your life. You know what I'm saying? Every single nation on earth began what? Dark skin. Except what? One. There's only one that always looked like that. But every other nation, when you go back, and you see where the original version of them was dark skin. You understand? Even Moab, Ammon, they were dark skinned. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's the cat's name? Lot. They were dark skinned people. All them people in Sodom and Gomorrah were dark-skinned people. It just so happens that they were not Israelites. But everybody on earth at a certain time was dark-skinned. And then there came some cat named Esau and shocked the world. It was like, what the hell is this? You understand? No sweat.
And that was the end of 8.
Come on. Now pick it up in verse 9 in the Hebrew.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 9 in Hebrew. Wayashabwa, Banya Yasha'ala, Ath, Nashia, Madian, Wa'ath, Tapum, Wa'ath, Cal, Bahamatham, Wa'ath, Cal. Is he calling them beasts?
Could be.
Bahamath is a beast, right?
Behemoth.
Yeah, it's like a cow or a beast or animal, right? Okay. Wa'ath, cow, Makwanahum. Wa'ath, cow, Hayalum. Bazazawa. Verse 10. Wa'ath, cow, Ariahum, Bama, Washabathum, Khan, Wa'ath, cow, Tayarathum, Sharapwa, Ba'ash. Sharapwa, Ba'ash. Verse 11. Well, Kwakwa, Ath, cow, Hashalol, Wa'ath, cow, Hama, Lakwawa, Hamol, Lakwawak, Ba'adam, Wababa, Hama. Verse 12. Waya ba'awa al masha wa al aliazar hakahan wa al idath banya yasha'ala ath hashabia wa ath hamalakwawath wa ath hashalol al Hamakana al Arabath Awa Abba Salakia Mawa Abba Bashar al Yaradun Yarad Kawa Yarakwa Salakia Yarakwa. Verse 13. Hayataza awa Masha wa Aliazar Hakahun Wakal in 13. Nasha Aya Haida Lakwa Atham Al Makawataza Makatazawa Makawataza Lamakana. Verse 14. Waya Kwatazap Masha Al Pakwa Wadia Hakayol Sharia Alapium Washaria Hama Awath Haba Ayam Matazab Matazaba'a Hamalak Kama Alamakama.
What verse?
That was 14. One more.
One more verse.
Verse 15. Wayamar Aliyahum Masha Hakaya Yathum Kal Nakwaba. That's the end of 15.
Yeah. I'll pick it back up.
Okay, we started verse what? 8, right?
Verse
9.
8 was the last one you read in English.
Yeah, right. Flew with the sword. Yeah. Most High Christ, the white out of one. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 9. And the children in the English, and the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle. Oh, that's what he's okay. And all their flocks, and all their goods. Verse 10. And they burnt all their cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. Verse 11. And they took all the spoil and all the prey, both of men and beasts. Verse 12. And they brought the captives and the prey and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp of the plain of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. And I just want to say something real quick. Notice they didn't take the stuff and keep it. They took it and they presented it to the priest. You understand? Because that it probably was, divvied up according to need. If people needed food or if they needed cattle, the priest would know what to do with it. Once again, this is showing the order that we had among our nation.
Right, and also, if I may real quick, and also so that they can determine what we need to keep and what we don't need to keep.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So the high priest and so the you know what I'm saying, the brothers, you know what I'm saying, in charge can determine whether or not we should keep any of this stuff, whether we should get rid of some of this stuff. Well, what should we do with these women? What should we do with these children? What should we do with this gold or what have you? We don't do nothing of our own accord in this place. Because doing things our way has gotten us what? Destroyed. It's gotten us absolutely destroyed. We were talking about that earlier, man. Your daughter doing what she wants to do is the reason why your stripper poles are filled all across America. It's the reason why, you know what I'm saying, young brothers is going through child support. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why all these things are taking place, because there's no order amongst us. The other nations, they have order, even in their disorder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're not of the Lord, but they have a structure that is theirs, and it works for them, and they follow it. What we got? What do we have? What's a black man in the household in America, or you know what I'm saying, in the world today? Yeah,
No, I was just going to say, man, all all of the industries are suffering labor shortages, but there's no labor shortage on the pole.
Right.
They got plenty. You understand?
Right.
That's how destroyed our nation is. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, but it's a joke, but let's look at it for what it really is. How destroyed we are and how important this work is, man, to put this word out there, man, so we could probably save some of our sisters.
Damn
man.
right. Damn right. Read on.
Verse 13. And Moses and Eleazar the priest and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. Verse 14. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands and captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. Verse 15. And Moses said unto them, have ye saved all the women alive?
So we're going to read on. We're going to see that they, that's why you got to bring it to the priest, because you may not have done what you were supposed to do. Did you follow your orders correctly? When we told you to kill everybody, who's supposed to be alive? Nobody. You understand? But we shall see. Let's see what happens next. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up in verse 16 in the Hebrew. This is the last set of 7. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 31, and verse 16 in the Hebrew. Hun, Hana, Hayawa, Labaya, Yasha'ala, Badabar, Bala'im, Lamasar, Ma'al, Bayahawa, Al, Dabar, Pa'aiwar, Wathaya, Hamapaga, Ba'idath, Yahweh. Verse 17. Wa'itha, Haragwa, Kal, Zakar, Batap, Wakal, Asha, Yadaith, Ayash, Lamashakab, Zakar, Haragwa. Verse 18. Wakal, Hatap, Hanashim, Ashar, La'a, Yadaiwa, Mashakab, Zakar, Hakayan. It's like Hakiowa, Lakum. Verse 19. Wa'athum, Kanawa, Makataza. It's like Makawataza, Lamakana, Aisha. It's like Shaba'ith, Yamayum, Kal, Harag, Napash, Wakal, Nagai, Bakalal, Takata Awa, Bayawum, Ha Shalayashya, Wabayawum, Hashabayaya, Athum, Washabyakum. And where I started at 16, right? Salakia. Verse 20. Wakal, Bagad, Wakal, Kalia, I wore, Wakal, Ma Aisha, Isayum, Wakal, Kalya, Aitaza, Tha, Takata Awa. Verse 21. Waya Amar, Alaya, Slakia, Alaya Izar, Slakia, Ala Izar, Hakahan, Al, Anashia, Hatazaba'a, Habaya Lama, Slakia, Lama Lakama, Za'ath, Kakwath, Hathawawa, Ashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Ath, Masha. Slakia. One more. Verse 22. Aka, Ath, Hazahab, Wa'ath, Hakasap, Ath, Hanakashath, Ath, Hakazol, Ath, Habadayo, Wa'ath, Ha'iparath. That's the end of verse 22 in Hebrew. Pick it up in English, bro.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 16 in English. Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord.
Let's see what they had done. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And now, therefore, kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known a man by lying with
some of them cats was having sex with them women. They wasn't told to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's why Moses knew. He said, "You keep some of the women alive? Oh, okay. No sweat. Kill them niggas." Go ahead.
Verse 18. But all the women, children, that have not known a man by lying with them, keep alive for yourself.
Right. Not for yourself, for you can have sex with them, but keep them alive because they have not known man. They didn't have sex with nobody. All right. Keep them alive. There's no sin there. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Whosoever hath killed.
What does it mean to abide without the camp? Hold on, Yanzor.
To live outside of the camp.
I said, hold on. I let somebody else answer, but it's no sweat. No, you good. You two are, right? So be outside of it. Go ahead.
And do ye abide without the camp 7 days. Whosoever hath killed any person, and whosoever hath touched any slain, purify both yourselves and your captives on the 3rd day and on the 7th day.
Meaning what? When you're around a what, you're unclean for 7 days. A dead body. That's why if you go to a funeral or anything like that, if you're around a dead body, you're unclean for 7 days. So it's saying to purify yourself. So you got to be outside of the camp for 7 days, you and your captives, because they've been around dead bodies as well. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And purify all your raiment and all that is made of skins and all work of goat's hair and all things made of wood. Verse 21. And Eleazar the priest said unto the men of war which went to the battle, this is the ordinance of the Lord which the Lord commanded Moses. Verse 22. Only the gold and the silver, the brass, the iron, the tin, and the lead. That's the end of 22.
Now, we're going to read more about purifying these things later on. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. So we just read, you know what I'm saying, 7 sets of 7 in both Hebrew and English. So we're going to, you know what I'm saying, clip the Sabbath service right there. So the last thing we just read Numbers chapter 31 and verse 22. So next week we'll be in Numbers chapter 31 and verse 23. All right. Numbers chapter 31 and verse 23. And so with that, I imagine just up here. I imagine. Get the horn as well. Men of Israel, gird thyselves and prepare to salute the Torah. Bashimi al Shabraki. Ya. Bashimi al Shabraki. Ya. Bashimi al Shabraki. Ya. Yahweh Hashem al Shabraki. Ya. Yahweh Hashem al Shabraki. Ya. Majim. Wapanya Kodum. Means rise and face the east. We're going to close out with these prayers. We're going to start out with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Daba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'aratazar, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawum, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawathia Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawathia Nawa, Wala'ah, Tabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abol, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wahathraparith, La'Iwalamyam, Aman.
In the English, Our Father,
Our
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Ba'Shem Hawashai, Baba Kashah, Nathana Nawa, Hakak, La Para'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarium, Hakak, La Haquium, Hamathium, Hakak, Al Rawakawaf, Hatama'ala, Lagarashun, Ba'Shem Hawashai, the water Aman.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it.
The prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew, Barakatha Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Mayaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazabaya, Alawap Yahana, Ha Alawapium, Ha Saranyam, Ha Kotazayanyam, Ha Koyayoyam, Wa Ha Aquatium, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the water Aman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, Commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it.
Psalm 121 in Hebrew, Aisha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharium, Ayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayim, Wa'aratazar, Al Yathun, Lamawak, Regalka, Al Yanawum, Shamarka, Hanala'ah, Yanawum, Wala'ah, Yayashun, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazolka, Al Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'atka, Wabawa'atka, Mayatha, Wa'aid Iwalum.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Dami Alaka, Al-Fakarash, Wa Al-Fashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Awabiaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Al-Imaka, Ya'ira Yamwa, Sawada, Wayatha, Ya'itazawa, Al-Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magoria, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawa Aitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Bariath, Yakorathwa, Aholia, Alawam, Wa Yashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagarium, Gabol, Wa Imawan, Wa Imalak, Palashath, I'm Yashabia, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadin, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Banakol, Yashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Daman, La Arama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yamawa, Ka'arab, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakatazol, Mana'ai, Kalnasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Na'awath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, La Panjararaka, Ka'ash, Tabya Ira, Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Talahat, Harayam, Khan, Daradatma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa, Wapathka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabaholwa, Aidya Aid, Waya Kaporwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Dayawa, Kayatha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kal-Haratazar.
In the English, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabor, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes as Zabab and as Almunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, but the Most High over all the earth.
Men of Israel. We give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel. Saul, first turn to face the teacher. Men of Israel. Amadu Shabbat. Amadu. Barak. Yahweh Shabbat. Yaji Matah. Class dismissed.
I was the grace of